Today everyone is opinionated and everyone wants to speak on matters. This is the very essence of our destruction. That everyone has an opinion. That everyone wants to talk. That everyone wants to share how he or she feels about the matter. Well, I have news for you. No one cares. The order of the Prophet of Allah is to remain silent. People think, but I'm really boiling up. Well, I have news for you. If you keep, and excuse the expression, if you keep your mouth shut and you don't speak, you actually get rewarded for it. So wallahi, whether this topic or any other topic, unless you have something good to say, honestly, keep your mouth closed. Wallahi, it's better for us. Something I had to get off my chest, forgive me, but this, Allahu Alam, anyway. My brothers and sisters, the topic I've been given is forgiveness. Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, the topic of forgiveness is an issue of Iman. And like I said yesterday, I will say it again today. Every single person sitting in this room, brother and sister, you have to now, right now, in yourself, you have to believe that there's no one else in this room and this talk is fully, completely directed to me. The issue of forgiveness is an issue of Iman. And every single one of us, one way or another, we have a problem with someone in our lives. And I'm telling you now, if you, that's right, not them, if you don't sort this problem out, wallahi, I take an oath by Allah, you will stand before Allah on the day of judgment and you will be in grave danger. The issue of forgiveness is an issue of Iman. It's what separates Muslims from believers and those that are on high levels. Those who want to achieve status, then they are those who forgive in their hearts. So I'm sure now, automatically now you're thinking in your mind, I'm sure there's a process that's going through. You're thinking, brother, very nice talk, mashallah. I like your words. Very cute, mashallah. But you don't understand what people have done to me and how grave the dangers and how grave the crime is that they've committed to myself. Well, today I'm here to speak to you in specifically. Today I'm here to tell you to forgive regardless of how serious the crime is or was. Muslims are people of forgiveness. Believers are those who have rahmah in their hearts. We are not people to carry grudges. We are not people that carry grudges. And wallahi, what breaks my heart the most is amongst us, Muslims amongst themselves, there's bitterness, there's hatred, there's wars that people go to war on Facebook. They go to war with each other, slamming each other, degrading one another, exposing one another, revealing secrets about one another. Where has this rahmah gone in our hearts, man? Where has this mercy gone? What has happened that we have scooped so low? And people, wallahi, Muslims, people that go to the masjid, people that pray in the same masjid, but they don't give salams to one another. Wallahi, you see people at funerals, weddings, Eid celebrations, people. Please, the brothers in the back, please, if we can have some quiet, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Please, the brothers in the back there on the desk. Muslims, I'm not here to tell you, Muslims, people who are standing in salah, but he won't give salams to the guy that's down the road. The guy that's down the same saf, he won't give him salam. Sisters who claim to be believers and mujahida this and mujahida that, and people who claim Tawheed, and we are on, wallahi, hatred, full hatred. In their hearts they wish death, they wish disgrace upon one another. Brothers, blood brothers, wallahi, I know someone in Sydney, blood brother. He hasn't spoken to his brother since he was 8 years old. They live in the same house, wallahi, they sleep in the same bedroom. And you ask, and you say, brother, what's going on? He says, wallahi, he says, I can't remember, it was that long ago. Wallahi, I don't remember why we don't talk. Family, people that used to sit on the same table and eat food and pass bread. We don't talk to them anymore. I don't associate with people like that. I wouldn't be caught dead giving him or her salams. Really? This is our deen now? This is what we've come to? Every single one of us has sin in his life. We've all done wrong in our lives. We all have dirty laundry that we don't. And every one of us is expecting Allah to turn a blind eye. Every one of us is hoping that Allah is Ghafoor al-Rahim and Allah is the most high and the most forgiving. So therefore, I'm really hopeful in my heart that Allah is going to turn a blind eye to all the sins I've committed in my life. And He's going to forgive me, and I'm just going to waltz straight into Jannah. You want Allah to deal with you like this, and you can't forgive your brother and your sister for something that happened in this world? You can't let something so trivial, and wallahi, no matter what's happened, I don't care what took place, it's trivial if you put things in context. You can't let a little issue slide. You can't let it go. But you want Allah to forgive you for years of not praying, for years of not fasting, for years of drinking alcohol, for years of committing zina, for years of haram and fasad. You're expecting Allah to forgive you for that. And you can't find it in your heart to forgive a Muslim for something that was far less. You know what I love about Sahaba? I love that they were real. And please give me your hearts. You see, many of us, in trying to glorify Sahaba, thinking that it's out of love and respect, and I understand, many of us, when we speak about the companions of the Prophet of Allah, we make them almost as if they were angelic. They never did anything wrong. This is the biggest disease you could do. Sahaba were real people who had wrongs, who committed sin, who had differences of opinion, who had quarrels and conflicts amongst one another. They were real people. But you know what makes them special? The way they dealt with one another. After one of the battles in Islam, and please, wallahi, I beg you, I really want you to leave Norway now, leave Oslo. You're not here anymore. I want you to really, I don't know, whatever works for you. Closing your eyes works for you, then close your eyes. Whatever it is. I really want you to imagine the story, and I really, in your heart, I want you to believe that you are there while this story is taking place. After one of the battles, the companions gathered together, and there was some booty of war. There was booty of war. Booty of war was usually gold, silver, swords, livestock, whatever was left from the army that they fought. So the Sahaba gathered. And they started giving their opinions as to how they should distribute this booty of war amongst one another. So Abu Dharr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and for those who don't know Abu Dharr is one of the big mama companions up there. And Abu Dharr was a real, what's the term, man? He was Arab to the bone. Even Arabs, the Bedouins used to say, this guy's too Arab for us. Really staunch Arab. So Abu Dhar, when the situation, so when the turn came to Abu Dhar gave his opinion on the matter. He says, you know what, I think this is how we should distribute the booty. Then the turn goes around and it falls on Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the mu'adhin of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For those who don't know Bilal used to be a slave. He was a black man who used to be a slave whom Abu Bakr purchased and he freed him. So when the turn came to Bilal says politely to Abu Dhar, he says, Abu Dhar, I disagree with your opinion. Allahu A'lam, I think this is what we should do with the booty of war. So Abu Dhar became so infuriated. He says, even you, ya Bilal, even you son of a black woman, even you're going to disagree with me now? For those who have any deen in their hearts, they will understand that the words that Abu Dhar just uttered are massive words. So naturally Bilal became so upset. What did he do? He was so upset, he left the gathering and he went straight to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now I want to pause here for a minute and I want to talk about the situation that just took place right now. With all respect to the Sahaba, and every one of them is here above our heads, inshallah. But just for our sake of understanding, I want to speak about the act that Bilal just did right now. He left the gathering and went to the Prophet of Allah. What do we call this in our day and age? He's a snitch. He went to Souk, he went to Dab, he went to snitch me into the Prophet of Allah. We're having a quarrel over here. Why do you need to, like a little girl, go to the Prophet of Allah and sook and cry about the matter? See, because our deen has been corrupted, our fitrah has been destroyed. Today we don't live by deen. Really deep down in the core, our principles are not what Allah and His Prophet say. Today the laws and the norm of the streets, this is the code that we live by now. Because in my eyes and your eyes, Bilal is a snitch. He went to cry and sook to the Prophet of Allah. No, we don't do that stuff. No, rather what you and I would rather do, you rather keep the issue in your heart, hate on the brother and the sister for the next 20 years of your life. Any opportunity you get to slam and destroy and eat their flesh and wipe the floor with them, you would love to do it. You won't give her salam or him salam for 20 odd years, right? Because you don't want to be someone that goes to someone that just might be able to help you in your situation. You see, Bilal didn't want to carry this around. So he picks himself up and goes straight to the Prophet of Allah and he says, this is what took place and this is what Abu Dhar said to me. These are real people. So the Prophet of Allah became so angry. He goes to Abu Dhar radiallahu ta'ala anhu and he grabs Abu Dhar and says, Abu Dhar, you are a man that still has jahiliyyah. You still have ignorance in your heart. What did Abu Dhar do? Did he say that little this and that little that? Is that what he said about me? Wallahi, I'm never... Nah. Abu Dhar realizes and acknowledges that I was in the wrong. Something that many of us, myself included, we're not prepared to do, man. That's the truth. None of us are ready to admit that we're wrong. Too much pride and arrogance in our hearts. You twist and turn stories just so that you don't have to admit that you were in the wrong. Well, I got news. Pride belongs to Allah. So you can paint it how you want. Abu Dhar now realizing, man, I'm in the wrong. How does Abu Dhar deal with the situation? He walks in the streets of Medina looking for Bilal. Then finds Bilal in the streets of Medina. He goes to Bilal and puts his head on the floor. I will not lift my head off the floor until you step on it with your foot. And let it be known to the people of Medina today which one of us is honored and which one of us is dishonored. An opportunity that most of us would love to have with those that hurt us. Muslims, Allahu Akbar, Islam is dripping all over him and her. But the hate they carry towards people that hurt them in their lives, like savage, wallahi, like savage beasts. Many of us, we put, no, wallahi, you know what, I forgive them. They hurt me, but I forgive them. But deep down in their hearts, if they can get their hands on them. So how does Bilal deal with the situation now? Bilal was hurt. He was in the wrong. He's acknowledged he's in the wrong. He's publicly announced that I will not lift my head until you step on it with your foot. What did he do? Did he jump on his head? He gets down on his hands and knees, he kisses him on his forehead and he says, I forgive you and I love you for the sake of Allah. Done, finished, dusted, never to be spoken about again. This was Sahaba. This was the way our fathers and our mothers dealt with one another. To forgive, to let it go. No matter what the crime, no matter what the crime, forgive and let it go, man. Who are we? Which one of us here in this room, I challenge anyone from myself and work your way down if you like. I question anyone. Who of us here is free from sin? Who of us here has never made a mistake? Who of us here has never been in the wrong one time or another in his life? None. So what's the big deal? Let it go, man. Forgive one another. Have rahmah towards one another. Not for their sake. You know, some people think, yeah, but I hate this person. This person is so arrogant. My brother and my sister, it's not about them. They could be the worst people. They could be the scum of the earth. But it's not about them. It's not about if they're worthy of my forgiveness or not. It's about me and Allah. If I can't find it in my heart to forgive, then on what grounds, on what logic are you expecting Allah to forgive you? And wallahi, people come to tell me their problems. It's so pathetic. It's so trivial. Yet this is what they posted about me on Facebook. And this is what they said about me. And one time I was in a gathering, and they never came up to me. And we've invited them to all of our functions and all of our weddings. And they've never invited us to any one of theirs. We go over their place and they never. Just the most pathetic rubbish I've ever heard. Really? Have we become so shallow? Where's this quality of rahmah? This quality of forgiveness? My wife the other day was showing me a post on Facebook, right? Some woman was putting her situation about her husband, between her and her husband, and she's asking the sisters, what do you think I should do? Allahu Akbar, a whole list, a whole lineup of girls. Yeah, F that, man. Screw him. Leave him. The hell with him. Look, you find it funny. You actually find that funny. Whatever happened to give him a go, try to work something out. Maybe we can bridge the gaps. Speak to someone. No, the hell with him. We've become a disposable society. Gillettes. You don't like it? Throw it in the bin. Get a new one. He hurt you. She hurt you. The hell with her. Get a new friend. Make it just rubbish. Everything's become rubbish in our time. Where's Rahmah gone? Where? Where's this making peace? Where's this forgiving? Where? Wallahi, I don't understand. You know, we claim to be the followers of the Prophet of Allah. Then I ask and I urge and I beg, wallahi I beg, then follow him sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Wallahi, no matter what's happened to you or your family, or I don't care what it is, when you compare your situation to what happened to the Prophet of Allah, wallahi, it dwarfs it. My sisters, wallahi, my brothers and sisters, it's amazing, wallahi, amazing. Your Prophet, your Habib, the one we claim that we love, the one we claim that we're ready to give our lives for, yeah? Our beloved Prophet, then wallahi, I tell you, don't follow me. Don't listen to my words. Don't follow the opinion of mashayikh and ulama. I'm just urging you, I'm begging you to follow your Prophet. You know, the Prophet of Allah was the most loved young man in Mecca. He was the pin-up boy. He was the boy that all the girls loved. He was the girl that everyone in the community loved. As-Sadiq al-Amin, the most honorable and trustworthy young man. Then he embraces a religion. Then he is told that he's the Prophet of Allah. Nothing changed. He was still the same guy. He went from As-Sadiq al-Amin to the most loved, and he became the most hated. He was mocked. He was belittled. You think these Karuns are big? The Prophet of Allah was spat. They spat in his face, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as he was praying, as he was in salah. You know, sometimes even on the streets there's a code. Even amongst gangsters, there's a code of do's and don't do's. You know, you never hit a man that's not ready for it. It's called a dog hit. You know, it's called a dog punch. The guy wasn't looking. The man, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was praying. In sajda, they used to come and throw the guts of animals, the guts of dead animals. They used to pour it on his back, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as he was in salah. They harmed him. They swore at him. They threw rocks at him. They threw dust in his face. They spat in his face. They mocked him. They belittled him. They harmed his family, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So don't come to me with your little movie, you know. 13 years in Mecca, 13 years prosecution for what? Wallahi, I ask, what crime did he do? What? Because he caught the Tawheed? In Mecca, people used to make tawaf around the Kaaba naked. Anything and everything went in Mecca. 365 idols. So what's the big deal? A man comes who claims there's only one God. What's the big deal? No, they went, wallahi, they exhausted every avenue to make his life miserable, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They killed his companions. For 3 years they boycotted him in Mecca. 3 years they boycotted him and all of his family, even the ones that were non-Muslims. They boycotted them for 3 years. Sahaba said we were eating the leaves of the trees. Our droppings became like the droppings of animals. So much harm was inflicted amongst them, upon them. In the battle of Uhud, they killed his uncle Hamza radiallahu. Not killed, they didn't kill, they absolutely mutilated the man, sallallahu, right? They muted him radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Muted his uncle. I mean, imagine Hind ripped his liver out, she took a bite from his liver, she chewed it and then spat it on the floor. Sahaba said, we never seen the Prophet of Allah cry like he cried when he seen his uncle Hamza. We never seen him cry like that. In narrations, he prayed janazah on his uncle 70 times. All this, And when he returned to Mecca after years of persecution, when he returns to Mecca with an army of 10,000 companions, the likes of which Arabia never seen before, and he entered into Mecca victorious. How did he walk into Mecca? In narrations, he was on his animal, he lowered his forehead so much, his forehead was touching the back of his animal. He was praising Allah, saying, today victory belongs to Allah alone. When he stood in the haram, and those thousands of people who harmed him, kuffar, not Muslims, kuffar, now they are surrounded by 10,000 companions armed to the bone, ready at the drop of a word. They were ready to give their lives for him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They stood there surrounded by 10,000 companions, now knowing we harmed this man for 20 odd years. We killed his children, we killed his companions, we mocked him, we belittled him, we wiped the floor with him. Yeah? All this towards him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now he returns victorious. He says to them, and what do you think I will do with you today? Many of us would love to get our hands on those that hurt us, man. He says, go. اذهبوا فأنتم الطلقاء. Go, every one of you is free. I forgive every single one of you, man. Kuffar. And he forgave him. Your own Muslim brother and sister, you can't forgive? Really? You can't forgive him? Why? Do you feel like you're something in your heart, Yani? Pride belongs to Allah. Have mercy amongst one another, my brothers and sisters. Forgive one another. Wallahi, I don't care what the crime. I don't want a single person to stand up in the question and answer and throw me a scenario, because wallahi, I'm going to throw it straight back in your face. Forgive and let it go, man. Forgive and let it go. Bury it. And wallahi, as soon as you forgive, you will feel an instant increase of iman. You know, many of us, my brothers and sisters, we're carrying mountains of hate on our shoulders, man. And many of us, we want closure to situations that have happened to us. Wallahi, I'm here today to tell you, go to those that have harmed you. Go to those who you harmed and sincerely ask for forgiveness or forgive them. Because some of us now, you're thinking, you know what, all right, the brother said a couple of nice words, I'm going to forgive that person, but I'm not going to let them know that I forgave him. I want to save face in front of the people. This arrogance and this pride will be your destruction. I'm telling you, go and make it public that I have forgiven this person, and me and this person, we're equal, we're squared. The accounts are cleared. I'm not telling you to become best friends and go to the park and feed the ducks. I'm not telling you to do that. Some people in your life, they're actually bad for you and you're better off without them. That's not the point I'm making. I'm saying forgive and let it go. Forgive and let it go.